This isn't a story, it's my story. This is a real story. And don't forget that. This is real.
Stephen Michael Digna Jr. shared a remarkable testimony about encountering a UAP, Unidentified Aerial Phenomenon, during Dr. Stephen Greer's Disclosure Project 2.0. Digna described the craft as seemingly alive, reacting to touch with sensations similar to a cat's purr, and having a skin texture like shark skin. The craft displayed luminescent patterns and emitted pixels when touched. Additionally, the craft reportedly shut down his vehicle, and his girlfriend was immobilized by a bright white plasma field. His story was cut short due to time constraints during the testimony.
Suddenly, all I could see was a bright light through all of my windows, and at that exact same time, my car's power steering and the engine's electrical systems, everything died, completely died. I stepped through a thick field of white plasma that encompassed the spheroid craft. She was instantaneously locked in place in a bright white field of plasma. There was a plasma field emitting approximately 12 inches off of the craft inside this white plasma field. The exterior looked like polished black onyx. As I drew my hand back, pixels jumped off the craft. As I swiped up, the craft emitted a tiger stripe pattern up the starboard side of the craft. As I drew my hand backwards, the pixels popped up. And as I did, the craft purred. It bellowed through my body. I could feel it resonate my body cavity. And it was very intense. I felt like I was in contact with a living creature. As I drew my hand back, a lattice work opened up underneath. There was a very vibrant colors coming out of the craft, the underskin. This was a very thin nanolayer. And there was a meshwork, honeycomb style. And it was like a lattice work that was like a frame around this. Beneath that was, there were filaments flowing. They looked like a neural network. And I saw a giant white, bright white light floating in the sky. And it was a hangar bay door opened. You couldn't see doors. It was just a bright white light. And it looked like a window floating through the sky, maybe even a portal. People might, from a distance, think, hey, that's a portal, but I obviously knew it was a craft, so this is a hangar bay door. And there was a female silhouette standing there. So I realized I was looking at a cloaking device on a very, very, very large craft that seemed to encompass the whole desert area that I was under. And it said very clearly, you were not supposed to see that.
No!
That, you weren't supposed to see it. All of a sudden, I began feeling a thud, thud, thud sound. This was a resonant frequency being pulsed through my body. As I felt this, it increased in speed. Thud, 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 thud. It was very rapid. As this thud resonated in my body, I felt my molecular or my cells, maybe the quantum level of my body, feel like it was being resonated. I felt like maybe I'm going to be microwaved or something to that nature. Either way, I seen some bands coming through. I began lifting up off the ground. My vehicle began lifting with me also. As this happened, my body tipped back and I could see the underbelly of the craft, and I was flat on my back and I was staring up at the ceiling, and my vision cued into a very, very bright white light.
Whoa.
My vision panned over and there was my wife flat on her back on a table. I saw a female right next to me. She was taking some samples from me. It was a human female. She had red hair. She had very fair skin.
It's important to note that these claims are based solely on Digna's testimony, without corroborating evidence. The UFO research community remains divided on the credibility of such accounts. Thanks for watching another camp story. Don't forget to like and subscribe.